Hello, my name is Lea Fabre, and I'm a coordinator at the Edna Lawrence Nature Lab at Rhode Island School of Design. Thank you for inviting me to share with you today. I am very fortunate to be part of the Nature Lab's team of staff members and to walk in the footsteps of both Edna and many other former coordinators and directors who have worked to make the Nature Lab a place for both scientific and artistic exploration. Today, I would like to introduce you all to some of the spaces and aspects for our collection which make the Nature Lab so unique, as well as some of my own work as an alumni of RISD. The Nature Lab was founded in 1937 by Edna Lawrence. Edna was a naturalist, feminist, artist, and professor at RISD for over 50 years. Edna's vision for the Nature Lab has left an indelible impact on the way which RISD structures its foundational curriculum, and the Nature Lab stands as an invaluable resource for RISD students and faculty. This is room 22, our main natural history collection. As you can see, the walls are hung with taxidermy, some from Edna's original collection, predating 1937. Through generous private donation, our taxidermy collection has grown significantly in the past year. We also have a number of live animals for our students to interact with and draw inspiration from. These are some stills of our cabinets, which are roughly organized by taxa. Many items in these cabinets can be checked out by students like a library book and used for inspiration in their crit and studio spaces. This is room 22A, fondly named the Bone Room. This is our osteology collection, which is accessible for students to interact with. Many of these skulls and articulated skeletons are used in scientific illustration courses here at RISD. On the mezzanine, some works of Edna's students can be seen, as well as our structural color and biomimicry cabinets funded by Hyundai. This is the Microscopy and Imaging Lab in room 12 of the Nature Lab. This space houses our library, slide collections, and rolling storage. We have a scanning electron microscope, a macropod, several research microscopes, high-speed capturing cameras, and Artec 3D scanners. This is the Biomaker space in room 11 at the Nature Lab. This is a multi-purpose space. Many classes as well as workshops are held in here. Many of these workshops center on biomaterials. One of our last workshops was about dyeing natural fiber fabrics with indigo, which has been grown on the regenerative Earth Collective plot here on the RISD campus. Along this wall, you can see our Narragansett Bay sea tanks, which hold both native and introduced species. These tanks capture a small glimpse of the biodiversity of the bay. Here you can see our aquaponic systems. One is a basin aquaponic systems, and one is a bell siphon system. They both operate on the principle of using fish waste to grow food which can be fed to our other live animals. Now, I'd like to introduce you to some of my own work as an artist with an active practice which is greatly influenced by the Nature Lab. My love of nature as a child was nurtured by my mother, who was a biologist at University of Rhode Island and worked on the National Park Species Lists and Data Bank. She stressed the importance of close observation and attendance to nature. She introduced me to the works of Jean-Henri Fabre, my 2-times great-grandfather, at a young age to inspire me as a growing naturalist. I was mentored by Rhode Island's local painter, Solace Levin, for nearly 10 years. She taught me how to truly look at what I am portraying, as well as how to capture the essence of it artistically. This classical training and my love for nature has led me to explore many local species through painting and illustration. I was also mentored by the Rhode Island silhouette artist, Deborah O'Connor. She taught me how to explore positive and negative space while conveying form through the dwindling art of hand-cut silhouettes. These insect silhouettes are inspired by specimens at the Nature Lab. I have been teaching myself traditional fiber art techniques, inspired by the work of women in my family, whose talent and love for craft are passed down in my family's oral history. I have been looking at fibers as a method of depicting texture and form. My senior thesis work at RISD centered around humans' relationships with rats and subcontextually colonization. I was looking at the way our society understands the concept of rats and the way that rats have drastically changed the course of people's cultural histories. My most recent work has been a death cast of Neetop, the corn snake. He was the Nature Lab ambassador for snakes for many years and recently passed away. In remembrance of him and his time at the Nature Lab, I have cast him in wax and then in bronze through lost wax casting. I have taken a 3D scan of him with the Artec spider, which lives on in the Nature Lab Sketchfab page for anyone to access. Please check our website for our online resources, including our Sketchfab and Flickr pages and updated open hours. Thank you for walking through the Nature Lab with me.